One of the remarkable facts of Jewish and human life is just how small the Jewish people are and how small the Jewish country is. We know that there are close to 7.7 billion people in the world and around 14 million Jews. That's less than 1/5 of 1%, a blimp in terms of humanity. So too the land of Israel, one of the smallest countries in the world. Indeed, in America they say it's the size of New Jersey, a small state. In the Great Britain, it's around the size of Wales, one of the smaller components of the British Commonwealth. In South Africa, we would say it's the size of the Kruger National Park, a game park. It's a tiny tract of land, one of the smallest in the world. Yet, look how big the impact of the Jewish people is in the world and throughout history, and how big, disproportionately, is the impact of Israel in world affairs. One of the greatest spiritual components of what it means to be a Jew is that so few people can have such a big impact. Indeed, there is a pasuk in this week's parasha, Parashat Nachamu, Parashat Vaetchanan, that we read straight after the tremendous destruction and tragedy and suffering at the hands of mighty empires, the mighty Roman Empire, the mighty Babylonian Empire, which destroyed both temples. Somehow, the tiny, small Jewish people have survived and thrived against improbable, perhaps even impossible odds. And there's an incredible pasuk at the end of this week's parasha regarding the conquering of the land, the 7 nations of Canaan that the Jews come up against, where the pasuk says an amazing thing. Lo mirubchem, it says in Shvi at the end of the parasha. Not because you are many, says Hashem mikol ha'amim, that I've chosen you. Chashak Hashem bachem v'yivchar bachem, that Hashem has chosen you and desired you. Ki atem hama'at mikol ha'amim, you are the smallest of people. And says the Ramban, Nachman is an amazing thing. He says, numbers and multitude has value in Jewish life. There's power in numbers. There is dignity and honor in numbers. In fact, there's a verse in Proverbs that has halachic ramifications. Berov am hadrat melech. When there are lots of people around, it brings dignity to the king. The king who has so few followers, what type of a king is he? But when there are a lot of followers, it's used in halakha, participating in bigger events of hearing the Megillah and davening. The more people, the more power and spiritual grandeur and honor it brings. But if there's one thing that Jewish history has taught, it is lo mirubchem, that our connection to God and our impact in the world, our spiritual impact in the world, is not a result of strength of numbers, but rather of the quality and power of the Jewish mission and vision. To be a light unto the nations, a small light dispels a lot of darkness. A country living by spiritual moral values in a sea of dictatorships often, and of values which are antithetical to what it is that Judaism and morality stands for. A small country and a small people espousing these values can have a massive impact. And may we in the Shabbat of Nachamu, coming out of the difficult times of the Churban, going into reconnecting with our destiny as we come up to Rosh Hashanah, Shevad and Nechamta, the 7 weeks of prophecy, tap into the power of what it means to be a Jew, the legacy of being part of such a small people and land, which is making such a massive difference. Shabbat Shalom.